one of the wisest and substantive people I've had the privilege to talk to in quite some time. Her voice sounds like a drop of honey in in a bottle of or a glass of cognac. I love her voice, man. Listen, so Tabitha, I want to start to unpack your journey a little bit, and let me simply ask you: did you always want to be an actress, or was there something else you wanted to be?
I always wanted to be an actress. Ever since I was probably about 5 or 6, we used to watch the Cosby Show as a family, right? Every Thursday night, and I didn't know what it was called because I had never met an actor before, so I didn't know what acting was per se. But I remember I used to always tell my mom and dad, I want to be Rudy's friend that ring the doorbell next. And so I remember my mama saying, "Oh, you want to be friends with Rudy?" I said, "No, not in real life. Just on the TV. I want to ring the doorbell and come in there and talk, and then I want to come home." And I was trying to explain that I wanted to be an actor. And then, I started doing theater as a kid in school and community theater and church plays. And I was always the joke teller at the cookout. My daddy would buy me joke books, and I always loved performing and telling stories and, just making people feel something. It's always been who I was and who I wanted to be. So yeah, this is who I am.
And this, to me, Tabitha, you tell me if you agree or not, but there's always a certain kind of blessing when you start the journey to your destiny early. Now, I don't lament when anybody finds it. You can find it at 50, you can find it at 60, you can find it at 30 or 20. But when you find it young, it's a certain blessing to that, because you get to put more time into mastering what it is you were born to do.
Yeah, I believe that. I think that most people, right, and this is my opinion, most people know their purpose as a child, but when the world starts to get involved, they get tainted and they forget what that passion that was pulling them, the dreams that they had as a child, that was showing them this is your purpose. You miss it. So you start getting older and the world starts influencing, and then you get lost and say, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And I always tell people, honey, go back to the thoughts that you had as a child. What did you enjoy doing? What was your pretend thing that you did as a child? Because somewhere in there lies your purpose. And so I think it's a blessing, because I've always had this thing in my heart. I didn't place it here. It wasn't something I just thought of. It instantly attached itself to me. And even throughout the years, I've been pursuing this as an adult for 22 years, right? But even in 22 years of pursuing my dreams as an adult, I lost my way a couple of times of thinking, I missed out on my opportunity. I ain't gonna be able to do it now, right? Trying to convince myself that I could no longer have this dream that lived inside of me, but it was still there and I would fight against it. But I thank God that, it stayed inside of me and now it doesn't have to die inside and I get to live it out.
Yeah, no, well, let me just say, based upon this conversation tonight, I'm as happy as you are that the dream didn't die, and that the dream didn't let you go, because that's usually how it works, right? So some dreams we let go of because they weren't meant for us to have. But when it's yours, in order for it to separate from you, it has to let you go.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, I'm so glad that you held on and that it held on to you. And it makes me want to ask you this, Tabitha. Tell me about a defining moment in your journey, a defining moment where you really had to summon the faith and the courage and the strength that you needed to be as free as you are right now.
Well, back in 2016, I got sick, right? I woke up January of 2016 and I had a headache in the back of my head. And that headache stayed and rested there for every day for 1 year and 7 months. It would not leave. Some days were better than others, but many days I had chronic fatigue, chronic pain. I would fall when I would walk. I lost my vision today. My body just started to attack itself, and the doctors could not figure out why. I used to also do stand-up, right? So during this time, I wasn't able to do stand-up because I was trying to get a TV show. I was like, Lord, I can go out here and do stand-up and give me a show, right? I wasn't able to act. I wasn't able to work. I was on disability. And I fell into depression. Major anxiety started to settle in. And I became hopeless. And I really started to think, really, God, you done brought me this far just to bring me here. And I lost my faith somewhere in the mix of being in this dark space for a while. And I remember having what I call my coming to Jesus moment in my bathroom. And I looked in the mirror. And now, if you've never really tried to look for your soul and look into the mirror for a long time, it is the most scariest, uncomfortable thing, especially when you're going through. But I sat in silence and I sat in my bathroom in my mirror for quite some time. And I began to pray and I told God, I've not been honest with you. I have been habitually praying, just praying by habit, but I haven't been believing what I'm praying because I feel like he didn't hear me anymore. But in that moment, I told God, I said, God, I'm asking you with everything in me now. If you heal me, you can have me. And I'll do whatever it is you ask. I won't try to do it my way anymore. I'll do it your way. And that day I meant it. And I released what I feel was the old tab in the bathroom that day. And 2 weeks later, I had a dream. And in this dream, now what you should also know about me, ever since I was a child, my mom used to always tell me I had the gift of dreaming. My dreams would always come to pass. I would tell people things and it would happen. So my dreams have always spoke to me. And so I had this dream and I saw myself on the show. But in this show, I was very much so free. You know, I had a little short afro. I spoke with my accent. I looked so happy. And I woke up and I thought, wait a minute now, Lord, I know I done seen myself on this show, but I'm not auditioning at this point. I ain't doing no stand-up at this point. What was that? And I heard a voice that said, start doing videos. And I thought, start doing videos? Honey, I was offended. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
You know what's funny about that, Tabitha? I was just about to ask you about that because I was going to segue into how you became a viral sensation. So keep right on going.
Yeah. So I heard that voice and I thought, oh, I don't do videos, Lord. I'm an actress. Honey, I ain't doing nobody video. Again, the voice said, start doing videos. And I was like, why would I do a video? I don't want to do videos. And then he reminded me 2 weeks ago in the bathroom, he said, if I heal you, I could have you. And I thought, oh, Lord, you caught me on a bad day. But okay, I did say that, okay? So I had started, in that moment, I decided I'm going to always be obedient to the Spirit. What I hear, I'm going to be obedient to it. And so he had this conversation with me. He said, listen, when you were trying to get a TV show, you were out there doing stand-up at your little comedy clubs, you was reaching 15, maybe 30 people a night. You started doing videos, you reached thousands in minutes. And I thought for sure I must have been going crazy because I was like, listen, God, I ain't even got thousands of followers to reach in minutes. What are you talking about? Whatever, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start doing videos. So I first started doing these videos as like a sit-down comedian. I was at home. I was still not well in the beginning. And I still had my hair very long. I was still very afraid to just lose my accent, to just let it go, not cover it anymore, right? So I was tiptoeing into it, but I was getting more and more comfortable. And as time went on, my daughter came home from school and said, Mom, we just watched this documentary at school. I think you should watch it. And it was, what the hell? And I thought, well, ain't every day does a teenager come home and say, watch a documentary, when pop the popcorn, okay? And so we watched this documentary and instantly it clicked for me. You know, when they were talking about diseases not being hereditary, they would eat the same thing causing the same disease. And I thought, well, for me, my mother died at 51 of ALS, which is a rare disease. They can't tell you what caused it, and there is no cure. And my dad is 68. He's the oldest male to ever live in our family. People die young in my family or have these diseases that they have to live with. And the only common denominator I could think of was me. And so I decided, well, you know what? I've tried all the drugs the doctors gave me and nothing helped me. Let me try to do a vegan 30 days and see if it, helps me. So I told my husband, let's do a vegan challenge together for 30 days and let's just see what happens. And we did that. And in the first 10 days, my headache went away.
Wow.
And that's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Wow.
Went on, the chronic fatigue started to kind of leave my body. I started getting energy again. Pain was leaving my body. I started just feeling better every day. And then on day 30 came and I said, I'm not going back. And I continued the path. And when I told my husband on day 29, I told my husband, I said, you know what? I know it was a 30-day challenge, but I think this is my path. I'm going to go vegan. And he said, well, I think tomorrow I'm going to need a piece of chicken. And I was like, you do that. But as for me, I'm going vegan. I always tell people that because sometimes the most important decision you got to make in your life, you got to be willing to make it alone. And I was
Tabitha, stop.
Oh.
That was so good, you got to stop. Some of the most important decisions you make in your life, you have to make them alone.
Yes.
Everybody in the world needs to hear that.
Yes.
Not just the vegan part of what you're saying, but that part right there.